Springboard Roadshow Foundation, in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation and Solidaridad, present CoRe, the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program.
Hello and welcome to the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program, also known as the CoRe Program. My name is Albert Okran. The CoRe Program is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation and Solidaridad. The CoRe Program is designed to equip the youth who form the core of the Ghanaian society in areas such as health and wellness, job readiness, and business skills to thrive first now and in a post-COVID-19 pandemic world. CoRe is all about learning together and growing together. In today's episode, we want to look at discovering your talent. We will cover areas such as what is a talent, examples of talent, notable, famous Ghanaian talented people, and then why a discussion about talent is important at this point. We will end with, after finding the talent, how to put it to good use. This will be a very interactive discussion. So wherever you are, first download the workbook for this talent discovery session on the CoRe Program Facebook page, or go to the website www.core.com.gh and you will find the workbook there to download. If you are signed up either because you are on the EDA program or you are a national service person in any part of the country or the MASO program, it will be sent to you in your WhatsApp group so you can participate and enjoy the interaction. Should you have any questions or comments, we would like to have them. So send them to us at any time on the CoRe Program WhatsApp line 055 153 5533. The number is on your screen, or post them on the Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages of the CoRe Program. We have experts on standby to counsel you, clinical psychologists to assist you, to ensure that you go through this phase of life and come out on top. All right. So let's start with our discussion about talent. What is a talent? A talent is simply a God-given or natural ability, something you do naturally, something you do relatively easily, or something you just enjoy doing. Let's give a few famous Ghanaian examples to help you understand what a talent is. So, Dede Ayew and Thomas Partey, they play football. Joe Mettle, Diana Hamilton, and Becca, they sing. Doreen Andor, Kwame Sefakai, they host radio shows. Ibo White writes plays. Chief Mumen and Nana Sase, they do poetry. Bukom Banku and Isaac Dogbe are boxers. And of course, Pusha, my friend, Ajite Annan and Martha Nkuma, they act films. So guess what my next big question will be? What do you do? What do you enjoy doing? What is it that you do that people say, this is your natural ability? And it doesn't have to be anything famous. Just something that comes naturally to you that you enjoy doing. Let me list a few examples to help you appreciate what your talent list could look like. So pull out a pen and a paper and start writing your own talents. And let's look at some things that could appear on your list. So I have here cooking, running, reading, writing, making friends, arranging flowers, organizing events, photography, fundraising, and maybe let me add telling jokes. I'm sure somebody will say, how can that want to be a talent? But let me write it down. So telling jokes. And then here is where it gets very interesting. After listing your first 10 natural abilities, against each one of them, ask yourself a simple question. What can I do with it? So if you have an A4 sheet or a notebook, break it down into 4. In the top left, write my talent. On the top right, write what I can do with it. Then in the bottom left, list your talents like I've done for the first 10 that I've put out there. But on the bottom right, against each of your talents, write something you can do with it. So imagine that if I wrote cooking, I can write preparing lunch and delivering it to offices. Of course, with social distancing. But the beautiful thing about this is that, so you are thinking of the times in which you are, and you are asking yourself, what can my cooking do? What can my running do? If you are at home, locked down, or maintaining social distance, reading could be very helpful. Writing could be very helpful, partly for engaging you, making you occupied, and also developing that skill to ultimately provide solutions for other people. The picture is beginning to emerge that anything you can do can be put to some use. So your list will have what you know how to do and then what you can do with it. Why is this discussion important at a time like this? Some say that these past few months, March, April, May, June 2020, have been the most disruptive period in the history of our world since the Second World War. They say that our world has been shaken in a way we've never seen before in recent generations. Some people have lost their jobs. Others are earning far less than they were earning before and asking themselves, how do I make it? How do I look after my family? How do I earn a living in this very disruptive world? If you've lost your job, your talent can be a lifeline for you. If you are at home keeping social distance, finding your talent can help you occupy yourself and make your life more fulfilling and more meaningful. If your income has been cut, your talent could be helpful as a potential source of additional income. Having laid that foundation, let me tell you a story. I love telling stories. Let me tell you a story that would encourage somebody thinking that, well, I know how to do something, but I'm not very good at it. And so I fear that if I go out there, people will laugh or I will not look that good. I'll tell you what, my first experience with public speaking was a very difficult one. So when people say, I am a speaker, I am a writer, I am a communicator, and they even suggest that I'm good at it, I laugh because my first experience was in nursery, and I was asked to recite a poem about the power of God. And the poem was supposed to be recited at speech day with all the parents, guardians, and the public in attendance. The high point of the poem was a point where I was supposed to pull out a fly whisk, or what they call boudoir, the thing that the fetish priests dance with. And I was supposed to pull it from the back of my trousers and smash it on the ground and say, Juju becomes tasteless when the power of God comes in. The rehearsals went very well. But on speech day, seeing the multitudes, the Spirit left me. And so at the high point of the poem, where I was supposed to say, Juju becomes tasteless, I literally said, Juju becomes tasteless. And everybody said, oh. It was embarrassing, it was not good, and I felt very devastated. I vowed to myself, I will never speak in public again. And I meant it. But I forgot the promise I had made to myself. So fast track, several years later, I was speaking in a HTS conference in a hotel in Accra. I spoke about leadership. I spoke about living out your dream and making an impact in society. It went very well, and I got a standing ovation. Right afterwards, an elderly woman walked up to me and said, did you say you grew up in Takoradi? I said, yes. Did you go to Chapel Hill School? I said, yes. And then she asked me one more question concerning my mother, who was the headmistress at the time. And when I said yes, she started laughing. That was apparently my nursery teacher. 40 years ago, when she saw me reciting a poem, everyone said, oh. 40 years after, I had spoken in a conference and everybody said, whoa. In the 40-year period between the poem and the speech, something happened. And that is what I want us to discuss as we look at discovering, developing, deploying your talent to provide solutions and make the world a better place. So how do you discover your talent? I've given you the first indication. Write down 10 things that you know how to do. Now, after the first 10, stretch it a little more. Add 10 more to make it 20. The first 10 will be things that you do very easily. The second 10 will be a bit more difficult as you try to remember what you are good at. And so 11 to 20 will stretch you a bit. But when you get to 21 to 30, that is where the real work is. Trying hard to ask yourself, what do I do well? What am I really good at? And you will start repeating yourself and writing funny things like, I remember people's names very easily. It may sound like it's not a talent, but what it is doing is validating or confirming some of the things you've written earlier. So when you get to 30, you would have literally emptied yourself of what you think you do easily or are good at. I remember seeing somebody's list and I saw things like playing or worry, and then chasing people, threatening people. And I know the person had enjoyed himself, but really threatening people was very funny. But it's a nice experience you will enjoy writing what you are good at. When you cross 30 or you hit 30, the next stage is to ask yourself a few questions. For instance, which ones are common? Which ones are similar? Then you begin to group them. Let me show you the various ways you can group them. First, take an area like communication. So anything that involves writing, how to talk, presenting poetry, group them all under communication. And then you group all your sporting, physical abilities in one group. Then you group things under education, inspiring people, and research. That's one more group. The fourth group will be things under organizing events, organizing things, getting things done. And then you write social skills. You relate to people easily. You work well with people. People like you. You connect with people. That's another group. And then information and technology related stuff also becomes another group. And then you group all the things under entertainment, music, drama, dance, the arts as one group. The next group will be things that you do with your hands, horticulture, cooking, creating things, the crafts. And then finally, you look at manufacturing, hardware, inventing things. That's another group. I'm sure you can create several groups. Now, the group that gets the largest number of entries from your 30 is your main talent. So you will find that maybe you have a number of them coming under communication or under education, research, and inspiring people. That is your talent. After finding the group that is your major talent, what do you do next? You look at what other supporting talents do you need. Let me give you an example. If I'm an educator, a teacher, if I know how to communicate, that becomes a supporting talent for my educational work. If I know how to organize things, that means that I will be that teacher who, during speech day, will organize a fashion show for the children. The most important thing is that your main talent should be there, and then your supporting talent will help you to work with your main talent. Let me stop here for today and remind us of what I've been sharing in this brief encounter. I've been saying that a talent is a natural ability. I've given you a few Ghanaian achievers, famous people with well-known talents. And then we've gone on to write your talents and your abilities. First, a list of 10, and then we've pushed forward to 30 things you know how to do. And then we've grouped them under various groupings to help us know which one is your main talent group. We've also asked about what is your supporting talent to help that main talent in achieving your assignment in life. In our next episode, we will look at what to do with my talent after discovering it and how to develop it to become world-class. Let me end with a quote from a man called Leo Buscaglia, who says, "Your talent is God's great gift to you, and what you do with it is your great gift back to God. In that regard, if you haven't discovered your talent, then a gift you must give to God has remained unattended, untouched, or unopened. Think about it. Go out there, discover your talent, use it, impact your world, and possibly earn some additional income. My name is Albert Okran, and this has been a CoRe program presentation brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation and Solidaridad. Till we come your way again, thank you and God bless you.
A presentation of CoRe, the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program.